Hi, my name is Matthew Young, and I'm a professor in mechanical engineering at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. When I'm in the classroom, I communicate visually with my students in three ways primarily. First is what I'll call personal expressions. These are things like facial expressions and hand gestures. Secondly, I write things down. So I'll call this board work, and primarily this is typically done up at the front using either a whiteboard or a document camera. And thirdly, I often have digital content that I want to share with my students. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a custom virtual educational environment that you can share with a Zoom classroom. Stick around. First, we need to understand that Zoom has the ability to integrate various feeds into our virtual meeting through three channels: the audio channel, the video channel, and the share screen channel. The method that I'm going to use is only going to focus on creating our own custom webcam that can be integrated as our video feed. To do this, I'm going to use an application called OBS Studios by Streamlabs. I have a link in the description. This application is useful for streaming and recording various types of inputs. After you've downloaded and installed the software, you'll notice 5 boxes at the bottom of the screen that allows for control of the feed. The first box contains scenes. These are preset combinations of video and audio input. You can see that I have several scenes already created. Clicking on a scene switches the view to that particular scene. I'm going to leave it on document 2. If I right click, I have the ability to duplicate or rename, as well as other options. More on that later. The next box contains sources. You see that I've already created several different sources. Hitting the plus sign at the bottom allows you to add a wide range of video and audio sources. The two that we're going to focus on are display capture and video capture device. If you look at my sources, you can see that I have two. Screen is a display capture source, and iPhone is a video capture device. Each source can be panned and scaled within the view window. Also, the source that's at the top of the sources box is also the topmost video in the picture. When you first open OBS, the application will probably look something like this. Notice I have nothing showing in my view screen. The only scene I have is called Scene, and I have no sources set up yet. What I'm going to do first is set up our screen source. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, and we'll go to Display Capture. And for the display capture, I'm going to call it Screen. Click OK. And you can see that I have the choice to choose between two different displays. Display 1 is my primary laptop display, and display 2 is my other monitor. That's the one I'm going to use for my screen capture. So I'll click display 2, click OK, and that source is now committed. The next thing I want to do is add my webcam. So I'll hit the plus. This will be a video capture device. Again, I'm creating something new. I'm going to call this webcam. I'll click OK. And it chose my integrated webcam. Now I'm going to pause right here. If you do the drop down right here, you'll see that I have a lot more options besides just my integrated webcam. But I'm going to start right now with just the integrated webcam. I'll click OK. Choose the webcam and click OK. All right, we can see that I have my two sources now and that I can move them around. Now my next step is going to be to create some scenes. So over here in Scene, I'll right click on Scene and I'm going to rename. I like to use all capital letters for scenes. You cannot use the same name for both a scene and a source, so it's important that you do keep those different. I'm going to call this one Screen. This will be what I'm planning on doing when I'm using digital content. So click Enter, click OK, and then I'll drag my video camera down here into the bottom corner. I really don't like my video camera So in the interest of expanding what it is I can do, I'm actually going to add 2 more sources eventually. I'm going to add an Android phone for my document camera, as well as an iPhone for my webcam. It does a better job and I can set it up a little bit better. So let's go through that. This first one is called Screen, and we've added those 2 sources. I'm going to right click on Screen and do Duplicate, and my next one I'll call Face, all caps. Click OK. What I want to do for the face is I'm going to delete both the, notice I have the face scene selected, so I can delete both the screen, I hit delete, as well as the webcam. And again, I've already set up another camera. I'll explain how to do that later. So video capture device, and this one I'll call iPhone. Click OK, and I'm going to choose this E2 eSoft iVCam. And again, I'm going to explain how to set up this either at the end of this video or in another video. There it is. You can see that's a much better picture. I'll click OK, and going to expand it so it fills up the whole screen. And also, I don't like that there's a little bit here of stuff I don't really want to show. You can see I'm not quite centered in the image. So holding Alt down and coming to the handle, I can drag that handle and do a live crop. So I want to crop it down to about right there. And again, we'll center that in the video, and this will be my face. Going back to Screen, we can add that video capture device. This time I'll do Add Existing because I've already created the iPhone, and I'll add it. And again, you can see the quality of that. I think I like the iPhone image a little better than I do the webcam. But whatever you want to use with yours, I'll hit delete of the webcam. I don't want it in here anymore. Now this is the only instance of the webcam, so it is deleting it entirely from the sources, and I'll have to add it again as add new. But I'm not going to use the webcam, so I'll go ahead and delete that, and again put this down here in the bottom corner here. So I have my screen, I have my face. The other one I need to add now is a document camera. So we'll do it this way. I'll do plus new scene, and I'm going to call this document. Okay. And for that source, I'll hit the plus, video capture device. This time it's going to be from an Android. I'm going to call this Android. Click OK. And instead of using one of the other cameras, now I'm going to use DroidCam. And again, I'll explain how to connect your phone to the DroidCam application shortly. And this is my document camera. I have it set up on a tripod looking down, and I'll click OK. By the way, at this point, it could be very likely that you need to rearrange or transform the image. So for instance, for either one of these cameras, if I didn't like how it came in, I right-click on Android and go to Transform. You can see I can rotate it clockwise and counterclockwise. So my suggestion is get it the way you want it on your desk, the way you want it to be, and then you can worry about transforming it like it needs to look in the OBS Studios. So again, now that I have the Android, we're going to add the iPhone here as well. So video capture device, add existing, iPhone, OK, and I'll pull that down to the corner. Again, I'm going to crop it, so holding Alt, move it to the corner here, and it's pretty much set up. I am going to snap it to the edge of video, of the document camera video, just so I know there's no overlap. All right, so I have 3 scenes now. I have just my face, I have just my digital content, and I have the document. By the way, if I'm looking at the digital content on the screen, we are going to use an application called DroidCam to connect our Android smartphone, and we're going to use an application called iVCam to connect iPhone. I'll include both of those in descriptions and talk about how to do that shortly. Built-in webcam we can grab automatically, and then the second display. All of those were video inputs sources, and we set up scenes within OBS Studios. Now I like to transition in OBS Studios using hotkeys. To do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Settings within within OBS, go to the hotkeys button, and every scene that we've created has its own set of sources. So I can switch to the scene by adding a hotkey. So for instance, for document, I could do Alt-D. And now anytime I press Alt-D, as long as OBS Studios is open, it will automatically switch to that application. For the face, I'll use Alt-F, and for the screen, I'm going to use Alt-S. Now, I will warn you, if you're in Zoom and you press these buttons, if you press Alt-S, there's going to be a warning that pops up. So there's a lot of options. Maybe I don't want to use Alt-S. Maybe I need to find a different shortcut. Another option is just to hit S. The problem with that is if you're typing on your screen, on your computer with OBS open, every time you hit S, OBS is going to switch to the screen view. So your choice about what you use. I actually am going to just use the letters, and I'm able to control that well enough. When I'm in a Zoom meeting, I'm typically not doing a lot of typing. So I'll click Apply and OK. And just to test that now, if I hit D, I'll go to the document. If I hit F, it'll just be my face. And if I hit S, it will be my second screen, as well as the picture in the picture there in the bottom. Once you have your sources and your scenes set up the way you want to, the next thing you need to do is create a virtual camera. To do that, you'll need to use a plugin called OBS Virtual Cam. Again, you can see a link down below. Now, when you install this, make sure you've logged out of all of your video sources, so you don't need to have Zoom open or OBS or any of the applications that you're using for capturing camera sources. So install it, and then once you install it, you can go to Tools, and Virtual Cam will be present once you've installed the plugin. I'm going to click on Virtual Cam, and I've got it set up that it auto starts. That means whenever OBS Studios is open, this camera is running. My target camera is the OBS camera, and you click Start to start it the very first time. There are several applications out there that use your smartphone as a webcam. I'm going to start with one that's built for Android. This is called DroidCam, and the first thing you need to do is go on your Android phone and download the DroidCam app. Then you'll also need to download the DroidCam client on the computer that you're going to use. Now, before I can use my smartphone as a document camera or as a second webcam, the first thing I need to do is connect it to the laptop. Once the apps are installed on both your phone and your computer, the next thing to do is to open DroidCam client on the computer and DroidCam on the phone. What you'll notice is that the device IP is given for you on the phone, so you'll need to type that into the computer. I'm going to connect using Connect over Wi-Fi. You don't need the audio, although you can leave it checked if you'd like to, and then click Start. What will happen next is the camera is now live. What's happening is the application is creating a new webcam called DroidCam, and OBS will see this as a new video capture device. At this point, I recommend placing your camera on the stand where you're going to use it at the end when you're finished, and go ahead and position paper like you want to. You don't need to worry if the image is sideways. We can fix that in OBS. If you have an iPhone, I recommend using the iVCam app by E2eSoft. Notice again, you're going to need to download client software, whether it's for Windows machine or however you're going to be running it, as well as software for the iPhone if it's an Apple, or if you want to try to use this with an Android, you can also do that as well, and use Google Play. I should mention this application is free, but it does have ads and some other things, and you can get an upgraded version if you want to pay for it. I recommend following the steps for connect via USB. Again, I have this posted in the description below, and so I'm not really going to go through the steps of how to connect this. Just do be aware that you will need to install iTunes on your computer. That's part of the process. I thought it would be good to finish up back in a Zoom meeting. Now that you're finished with all of your steps, what you want to do is you want to start DroidCam on your Android, or if you're doing iPhone, start iVCam on your iPhone. Then after that, you can start the clients on your computer. Then start OBS, and once OBS is running, your virtual cam will be running. Then you start a Zoom meeting, and then what you want to do at the Zoom meeting is for your video feed, select OBS camera, and you're ready to go. I'll click Start Video and start things, and now you can switch back between your face, document camera, and our digital content. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped.